flowers on your stone. We both know that I was wrong. We both know I'm not like that anymore. I'm not far behind. We both know that I was wrong. We both know I'm not like that anymore.
Hair done and stuff?
Yes, women could get their hair done twice a month, men got a haircut once a month.
Oh.
The hair that is in the sinks are from the residence when it was open. They've never been cleaned out. Some of the more modern product, well, probably all the product that you see in here has been brought in. They didn't have apple. Apple touching shampoo products or New Image or Clean. Those aren't things from back in the day. One piece of paranormal experience that happened in this salon, her beauty shop, that's right where this young woman is standing. There was a gentleman with a digital camera. He held the camera up and took a picture of him in the mirror. When he went to preview the image, his arms were down at his side and there was no camera. It was just his body standing as she is right now. Nobody can explain it. Nobody that we've had any connections with can explain how a paranormal experience like that can happen. Any questions? Okay. Onward.
Wide open area.
This was the men's cafeteria.
Men's cafeteria.
This is where the men were allowed to eat because they were separated from the women. Various people who try and go in this room tend to have a heavy feeling, a feeling of dread. You can imagine if there were, say, 90 men or whatever ratio, there could have been some fights in there back in the day. Men not getting along. But that's what this was. The men obviously had a much larger room to eat in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to zero in over there to that door, right there. That is a door that leads directly to the kitchen, cafeteria area, so they could bring food in, most likely from the kitchen into this room so that the men could, eat their meals. Yeah.
Well,
You looking for evidence or trying to communicate?
Yep, that's what he does.
That's fine. We just hope his evidence isn't ruined. I know, but they're looking back at the real case.
That's a creepy little hallway.
standard appointment.
What was over here, Chris?
This is the men's cafeteria.
Oh, this is the men's cafe. Wow, look at that shot. We're gonna have to come back and get pics in a minute.
Yeah, it's feeling heavy. I don't want to go in there for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't go in.
I think the tour's done at what, 2 hours? And then we get an hour walk. Alright, because I definitely want to get some cool pictures here.
Wow.
These are all hand carved. Drawing a blank here. In 1924-25, when they were actually building this, it's all hand carved. It's the way they want it.
Hand.
So this is where they lived, you said?
This is where Harry, Mary Slater, and their 2 daughters lived.
It's kind of small, isn't it? Wouldn't they think they'd make it bigger?
Bedroom, bathroom.
Yeah.
I think this was their living room, or this may have been their dining room,
Yeah.
and that may have been their living room. However, they didn't need a kitchen. They didn't need a laundry facility.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They had access to the laundry facility here, and the kitchen prepared all their meals. So this was just basically, at the end of the day, we can come in here.
Yeah.
You'll see these fireplaces when you go through the building in different areas. These are all individually
Weird, huh, Chris?
placed
That
tiles.
is a weird vibe.
They're not the kind of tiles like that you and I would go to one of the big box hardware stores that are on actual just glue and stick. This is all individually.
What was this used as after?
This was, I'm told this was the administrator's office of the entire building of the nursing home.
Wow. Look at that. Oh, the architecture is.
Pardon me?
All that architecture is beautiful.
Yeah. And you don't get that today.
No, you don't. Everything's square and ugly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call it.
Prefab.
Prefab.
Mm-hmm. I love it, and I'm fascinated. My daughter makes fun of me for this, but I love this closet.
Oh, look at that.
See, it's
Oh,
not,
how's that work?
it's not this. You pull it,
Oh,
Wow.
and it goes flush with the wall.
That's so cool. Can I record you doing that?
I just
Do you
did.
want it opened or shut?
Have it open and then close it. That was so cool.
Okay.
Alright, ready? Look at this really cool closet here, guys. You don't see something like this these days. Wow. That's so cool. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's original construction.
Yeah, it's like, I've never seen that before. Yeah.
No,
Everything else is on hinges.
you're right.
That one's like on.
Unique because of the.
Yes.
Probably how the door was.
Yeah, they couldn't fit the door, so that's how why they did that.
Space safe.
I had never seen that before. That's really cool, if you ask me.
Just could come grab a snack or a beverage. Maybe kids visiting their relatives and got bored in the room, came down here, could have a drink and a snack. So that's what this area was. Next, we're going to go down to an area called Angela's
Wow, that's the
Hallway.
behavior, admission, transfer, discharge rates. That's scary.
I'm very sensitive to people who have either felt suicidal, committed suicide, and just in general, suicide's a special place in my heart. I try to prevent it as much as I can. Angela, John Robinson are 2 people that have had listed on their cause of death or their death certificate as suicide. That varies. I won't talk about suicide in either one of their areas. So when I get up there, if I avoid that, you understand. Angela's hallway, from the evidence that has been given, or not evidence, but paranormal investigations that have happened, he's been known to say, "Get out and leave me alone." A psychic said that Angelo was not a suicide, that he was actually murdered, and they hung him to make it look like a suicide. So I'm very cautious with that. The same thing with John Robinson. A lot of EVPs are consistent with, get out, leave me alone. I don't know that it's the spirit really wanting to be left alone, or if it's residual, somebody was attacking.
It keeps replaying itself.
Right. This side of the building was male, that side of the building was all female back in the day. The only people who were allowed to be together were husbands and wives. They wouldn't separate them. People have called this hallway, particularly the demon hallway, they get a very bad negative feeling. Some people do. I've never had a problem.
I just pointed that out earlier. Don't want to go down.
My daughter did do her senior job shadowing up here. When it was still an open building, and this was the social worker's office down this hallway. Oof. So that I know for certain is fact.
Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like, no.
A lot of people get really bad vibes when they
Yep.
do. I think I've tried to shield myself from them because I don't want to be afraid in the building. The unique thing about this building too is you have a pink women's restroom door and a blue men's restroom door.
Quite clear, huh?
Yes.
Pretty clear.
That was probably very helpful to the elderly. Angela was a resident here in 1930. She passed away on the ground. This hallway, according to one of our staff members named Donnie, if you watch a Facebook live feed, you'll see Donnie wearing a mask. This is Donnie's favorite hallway. He finds it very, very active. I never get anything in this, or I had never gotten anything in this hallway, but Donnie always does. Him and his friend have a
Like flew right at me. What's in there though? Just toilets, I guess?
Yeah, they have.
Nothing fancy. Cool. Okay, let me see what this is.
Go ahead.
All the evidence that Donnie and his friend had accumulated, these were sociable ghosts in this hallway. They will sit and chat with you through EVP, spirit box, Ovilus, all those ways, unless you stand up and walk away. If you stand up and walk away, they stop communicating with you. So they want you to be sociable in this hallway. Shadow figures have been seen in this hallway. Canes, walkers, certain sounds like that have been heard in this hallway. Last year we hosted a high school dance, young ladies. We had a high school dance here in the cafeteria. I'll show you that when we get there. Angelo was very agitated. He doesn't like your modern music. He wasn't ready to jam out. So we did have staff, again, we have staff that will check on our spirits in the building, and they did come and they did calm Angela down and explain to him that it was a high school dance with a bunch of teenagers. Any questions about Angela? This is an original bath fixtures in there. A lot of this side of the building and that side of the building would
I know it's just like the floor and stuff. Original.
This is the infamous Destination Fear. They kept zeroing in and targeting room 202 for a little girl. We're not sure about that. I'm definitely not sure about it because there's the next room over here has a little pink My Little Pony, a baby doll, coloring book and crayons, and a poster that says Annie's room. So I'm a little confused.
They might have got it mixed up.
They said this room happened in here. I don't know if that room is mixed up and it should be over here, or what spirit might be.
Right.
I will forewarn you though, if you do watch Destination Fear, they keep saying it's in this area. The one gentleman got sick and was shown on film vomiting, which wasn't very pleasant. So he said he was over here, but I think he was over by Jeffrey's room. I keep hearing these screeches. I'm like, what is that? Okay. Ooh, I'm getting. We gotta move ahead.
Yeah.
So people who.
Wow. 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 Holy mother.
Okay, this is the big spacious cafeteria. This is the second floor cafeteria where it served everybody on the second floor, so it had to be fairly spacious. This is where we had a high school dance. Please be careful.
Yeah, I see it.
The glass that you see that's broken is on the outside. We have glass, new glass on the inside, so that no one can be harmed. If you watch Ghost Adventures version of Their Visit to Hill View Manor, this is Canada's exact plate. Or if you're a Ghost Adventures fan.
No.
This is the cafeteria entrance. They would have to stay on this side. The cafeteria lady was very stern about people not following the rules. My daughter has a co-worker who has had 2 experiences here. The one up here did not force her to quit, but the one downstairs that I neglected to tell you about and one north did. She was sitting here, a woman came up to her and asked her when they were going to be having spaghetti. She hadn't had her spaghetti in a very long time. And Rhonda looked down and proceeded to read through the menu for the list of things that they were going to have. And when she found out the day for spaghetti, she looked up and the woman had vanished in front of her eyes. She looked around, she did not see the woman. So she had experienced a full body apparition.
Wow.
Speaking to her.
So where's my spaghetti? Where's my spaghetti?
Yeah, spaghetti was popular. I don't know. I guess I missed out on good spaghetti. The claim has been going on for a long time that the spaghetti was good here. This is the kitchen over here. And while we're walking, I will explain to you what happened to the same Rhonda on the first floor that caused her to walk on this building and tell my daughter she was never, ever, ever returned. There was a resident in a wheelchair. Nobody was around the resident. He was by himself. And all of a sudden, the wheelchair started to shake violently.
Oh.
And the next thing they know, the resident was lifted up and thrown to the floor. She said, "That's it. I quit. I'm never going back to that building. That is too haunted for me." So, people have had lots of paranormal experiences here. Okay. There was a dietitian. This was her office. She regularly saw a man walk past her window many times fully clothed. She'd gotten up a couple times to look for him. Jennifer, is that you? Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She would get out to see where the man went, and there was nobody there. It got to the point where when she was here by herself, she wouldn't even get up. She just let him go. She didn't want any part of that. Any questions? She didn't want to
Ready, John? You okay?
Well, oh yeah, I'm just resting.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're okay, man.
I found this, or like before everybody else came in, so I just rested.
Just making sure you're okay.
I'm good, thank you. I'm almost out of memory.
Yeah, this phone's running.
I didn't expect it to be this big.
It is big. This will be like a couple parts.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get it down into like an hour.
Yeah.
My 3-hour people, this door here goes straight up and down. It is on either side of this little hallway.
Well, that's where we can go to
So if
get
you
quick
ever-
access.
Like kind of lose where you're at.
Yeah.
As long as you find these exit doors,
Okay.
you'll go straight down to the lobby. They take you straight down.
So they
If
go.
you go out the doors on this side, they will take you to the first floor. The doors on that side will take you into the lobby.
Okay.
Now we're going up to room 1. Third floor.
Alright, here we go. Final slip. Ooh, these would be creepy to walk down though.
Yeah.
They're dark.
Film each other walking up and down.
This place has so many weird smells.
It is. There's a lot of different areas and smells.
The skylight crew. It's horrible. It's really cool. Oh, here's the
The reason being, this was the ward. This was the surgical room. Any minor surgeries that needed to be performed were done in this room.
Oh.
Reason for the granite, you could wash this down very easily and create a sterile operating field. Or surgical field, the body.
For her.
They didn't hold the bodies up here for too long in the summer because you can already feel this heat. But in the winter, they would have multiple bodies up here. And before they could take them down to the embalming room. Okay. I noticed this a couple weeks ago. This looks like it might be an old-fashioned code blue, because it says emergency across the bottom, and there's 2 different buttons.
Oh.
I'm guessing that that's perhaps what that was.
And there'll be a light outside.
Up.
No, he said.
Oh, yeah. Up here, you can see because they did the town never put in the drop ceilings like we have in the other floors. But if you look above the traditional nurse's light, you'll see an antique, we're going to call it an antique version of call bell lights.
Wow.
This floor was all men. No women worked there except for the nurses.
That's amazing.
These private rooms here were one for that had to be kept away from young people.
Here, come here, it's weird. Okay, look like right here, and then look like out like that. And it almost is like the place is still new, you know? Like right there, you can see what it used to look like. It's kind of creepy. And look, there's a porch here too. Just
I see that.
Can you get on that? Do you think back in the day or no? There's decoration.
It probably was more decoration. How would it?
So we're on to the 3rd floor now, guys. And I think it's, oh, that light comes on.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Do it again.
That is a cool old light.
John Robinson has that evidence. I'm dancing around the subject. Leave me alone. Get out of here. In this room.
Wow.
Were these skylights?
Yes, it is an actual skylight. I'm not sure why they painted them, but they do. If you see a
Huh.
drone footage of the building,
Yeah.
you'll see that looks almost like a little glass house. On top of the building here. And I think this was basically all of it, but I've never, the first time I saw it.
That's cool.
It was light, but in the summer, that would make it like a wing icon.
People smoking a lot of them.
Especially when you're eating living here. We think Jimmy was admitted, I think Jimmy would have been perhaps in his 30s. Jimmy was no longer retarded but functional. I think his family couldn't deal with him much, so they had him admitted here. His name is Jimmy Marker, and the age of the letter. For years we thought that the gentleman in the blue shirt was Julius Tato, who was rumored to be Jimmy's best friend and cohort in some of their evil things that were not evil, but stinker things they were stinkers maybe. We found out that this gentleman's name is Lester McInnes. His niece was watching and she asked why everybody kept calling her Uncle Lester. Jules. So we have had that information corrected. Jimmy was a prankster, as was Lester. They used to go sit alongside the golf course and collect, or Jimmy did. He used to go sit along the golf course and collect golf balls. That's why you see golf balls all over the place up here. And do be careful if you are walking around. Jimmy's a stinker. He won't put them in different places. Jimmy would sit there, collect all the, I call them foul balls that went off the beaten track because I'm more associated with baseball than golf. And he would collect them, and when the golfers would come over, they would say to him, hey, I lost my ball. Did you happen to see it? Jimmy would pop up with, no, but I'll sell you this one for $1. You can see a Polaroid camera case in here. And this is brought in as a trigger. That's not Jimmy's original. Jimmy was moved to a different nursing home in 2004 when it shut down. Jimmy would tell people he would take their picture for $1. Jimmy never had any film.
Ah.
As far as the cigarettes go, Jimmy and Lester, as you can see, were heavy smokers, so they tried to earn money to pay for their cigarettes if they needed them. One year around this, I forget which Super Bowl, if I was ever even told, Jimmy's TV stopped working in his room. About a mile down the road here, headed north, on 65, there's a Big Lots store now, but it used to be a Fisher's Big Will. Fisher's Big Will was like a Kmart. Jimmy walked all the way down to the Fisher's Big Will, picked up a 19-inch colored TV in the electronics department, took it up to the cashier and told the cashier charges to Hill View Manor. Proceeded to walk it home.
Nice.
He was greeted by the Shenango Township Police. They knew Jimmy, so it was returned, no harm, no foul, but Jimmy had to miss the Super Bowl on his private TV. One thing I found out about Mr. Jimmy that I was surprised, he was an exhibitionist. He liked to streak through the building, and because he was such a long-time resident and the nurses felt they could trust him in things, Jimmy would frequently, so my daughter's not here. Jimmy would be frequently caught streaking through the building. If he managed to sneak past the nurses coming on duty, doing shift change, things like that, anybody who got on the elevator, as soon as the doors opened, they saw the pile of clothes, they had to get a hold of the nurses. Jimmy's on the loose. One day, Jimmy actually got halfway down the driveway.
Oh,
he
dang.
was well on his
He was
way.
gone.
Yeah. But I think Jimmy was a pretty good guy. He just had his problems. People leave him dollars. A gentleman was here for an overnight hunt investigation, and he told Jimmy, because this is the only $5 bill up here. I told Jimmy, if you pull this out of my hand, it's yours. It's not a dollar bill, it's a $5 bill. The gentleman felt the 5 jerk. His hand went numb to his wrist. He says, it's yours, Jimmy. You took it. It's the first time I ever, okay, let's not do that to me, Jimmy. He said, that's the first time I was ever taken advantage of by a ghost. So, Jimmy's room was down the hallway here. And it does say that Julius Hato shared this room with Jimmy. We do have some nurses' records stating that that is true. Why this is here, I don't know. Let Donnie figure that one out. But this was Jimmy's room. Those posters are inaccurate in that they say that they had separate rooms, different rooms. But Jimmy and Jules were in this room. I'm beginning to wonder if it was Lester who had the different room 313.
Huh.
Down this hallway, people have a feeling of dread or angry spirits. Could have been the men getting into fisticuffs up here. I avoid that. I don't go in there.
Can I shoot down there real quick?
Hmm?
Can I go down there?
Yeah. Do you need a light? Recently we found out that this room could possibly have kept some teenagers who were homeless, or maybe whatever it was that they're, yeah. We have more fun with that Jack in the Box than you'll ever imagine. Teenagers lived up here, and then some evidence of being violent.
All right, I need to get out of here.
Why? Over it?
Yeah, this is.
It's really depressing, man.
Yeah. Just
I
need.
don't think they were treated well, the patients. I can feel it all through my bones.
Okay, gentlemen, you're free to run the building for, and I do apologize, another 15 minutes
Oh.
on your own.
Okay, that's fine.